Hello and welcome back to the Frozen Card Gaming YouTube page. It's Mateusz here, and this weekend the LCS4 found place. And today I have Tristan with me, who finally won the LCS. And this time he was playing Rokket FTK.
Hello. Yeah, FTK is the best deck.
So first of all, congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
So tell us, how did you come up with the FTK in the first place?
So I obviously like Pisco and Black Garden has been like a combo that people have known about for a while. But we were looking at ways to. We thought the Exabeetle thing that a lot of people did, like it's a rank 6 and you like equip the Pisco to put it back on
Yeah.
field again. But it's kind of gimmicky and like it ruins your extra deck a bit because you have to play like 3 really bad cards. So we looked at other ways of doing that last bit of 4,000 damage. And so I asked Simon Wang from FTG as well, like different, because I know he's like very big into combos. So I asked him if he knows of any other ways to do like the last 4,000 damage. And he told me about Exploder Rocket. And so I discussed it with like the testing team, and we came up with this combo, and it's so much more consistent when you play Exploder Rocket because it's a dragon and it's a rocket, so drawing it becomes an extender.
Yeah, that's true. How did the testing go, and why did you pick this deck over the other decks?
So a lot of the testing was like mostly theory because we didn't want to play it against other people. Like we didn't want to play it on like the DB ladder because we didn't want people to know about it. Like the fewer people that knew about the FTK, the better it would be. And that proved to be true. Like nobody knew when to hand trap it or what hand traps to put in. People were very unprepared. And we figured like there's a few blind second decks in the format, and they just play like board breaker cards like Dark Ruler, Mystic Mine, like Sky Striker cards, like a bunch of hand traps.
Yeah.
And so it felt a lot safer to just not risk people having like good go second cards because if they just get FTK, there's nothing they can do about it. People weren't playing like enough hand traps or enough high impact hand traps to stop it consistently. So it was usually between this and Rocks, and it came down to this just can't lose going first most of the time.
Yeah. So what were your different matchups, and how did your rounds overall go?
So round 1 I played against Altergeist. He opened Nibiru, but I FTK'd through it as the deck normally does. Round 2 I played against Salamangreat. He didn't open a hand trap game 1 and got FTK'd. Game 2 he ended on like I had Nibiru, but he made the Trap Tricks Xyz, the Rafflesia, and then had Gravedigger's Trap Hole.
Oh, yeah.
I OTK'd him through it anyway. Round 3, I had to go second against Synchroeld. He opened tuning, so he did like his combo, and he ended on like Herald Savage with a Veiler in hand, and I cleared his board, and then main phase, so I used the battle phase to attack over Herald, and then in main phase 2 I did the FTK combo, so he died. Round 4 I played against like this weird Chaos Dragon combo deck. I just FTK'd him game 1, game 2 I ashed and he passed, so he died. Round 5 I was against Cormac. I went second against Rocks, and he ended up he misplayed a bit, but he still ended on Apollo for 2, a Dweller with a Tackle Crusader under it, a Savage on field, and Midbreaker field, which is like a pretty decent board.
Yeah.
But I ended up being able to clear his board and then set up the Buster Lock in main phase 2, so he couldn't come back from that. Then round 6 I played against Guru. He had Nibiru, but we FTK'd through it. Round 7 I played against Rocks. He made Lightning Storm, and I was doing a combo, and at this point it was like 1 a.m. and I misplayed, and so I couldn't do the FTK combo. So instead I did the Buster Lock and ended with the Herald. And so when he goes activate Storm to out the Buster Lock, I Herald negated it, and then he couldn't do anything.
No.
And then in game 3 I just FTK'd him. And then in top 16 I played against Gabriel Nets. We played the same list card for card because we built the deck together. Like his theory is insane, and like his deck building. So I won the die roll, so I basically won the match.
Yeah.
In top 8 I played against Shunping. So game 1 I actually misplayed. I could have FTK'd through Ash and Imperm, but I didn't recognize the line of play to do it. So I ended up losing the game 1. And then game 2 I FTK'd him, and then game 3 I Lanciered him, and he couldn't play through it, so he ended on just a Savage, and then he got OTK'd. Semi-finals, so top 4, I played against Dominic Couch, playing Synchro Eld. I can't remember what happened exactly. It was on stream, obviously, but we won that. And then the finals against Tash playing Rocks. So he ended on, it was Dweller, IP, Savage, and something else.
Yeah. Maybe Herald?
Yeah, possibly. But we ended up clearing his whole field and setting up the Buster Lock. And that's another reason why this deck is just so good. Like all the Dragon extenders are so valuable. It's very difficult to hand trap. It's very difficult to disrupt. People don't know what to do. And then game 2 we FTK'd. So that was whatever game it was. Oh yeah, we hand trapped him. I think hand trapped him twice. And that
You said that the deck plays well through hand traps, but like, does it? Like, how well does it play through hand traps?
It's really insane. So, we had a script, like a code to input the deck, and then test how many hands FTK and how many hands FTK through this hand trap, and it FTKs by itself against no hand trap, like 95% of the time. And that's ridiculously high for an FTK.
Yeah.
And then it FTKs through Nibiru about 55% of the time. So that's more than average that you're FTKing through Nibiru. And FTKing through Nibiru is basically the same as FTKing through like Ash and Veiler, Imp and Veiler, like Veiler and Ash.
Yeah, the normal hand traps.
Yeah, it's very, very consistent. Like the low impact hand traps, like, so if they have Nibiru, all you need is any tuner on field and any dragon to do the full combo. If they have Ash or Veiler, it depends where they hand trap, but they have to do it before Herald, because the deck threatens Herald before Fiber. So they have to throw it very early, and then if you have any dragon, you can usually just extend through it, and the deck is obviously full of dragon extenders.
Yeah. Did you think playing 60 cards was optimal? Did you like maybe want to change to like 40 after the tournament, or what was your thoughts regarding that?
So when we first built the deck, it was obviously 40 cards, but we recognized that we had to main hand traps to be able to beat Rocks going second. We didn't want to just leave it to a coin flip, because it's not enough to win an event by just relying on that. And so we had to include hand traps, and then we just wanted like more extenders, and all the extenders basically do the same thing. The only like argument to keep it close to 40 was obviously seeing side cards more consistently, but most of them do the same thing. Like it doesn't matter if you draw Pank or Cosmic a lot of the time. It doesn't matter if you draw Evenly or Cosmic or Imp or Lancia. They mostly do the same thing. You just have to draw multiples of them. But cards like Chaos Space and World Legacy Guard Dragon are so powerful. It'd be nice to get it to 40, but I think it's like, so when we were coding the hands, the more cards we added, it didn't decrease the consistency of the deck enough to the point where it was worth playing close to 40. Because like there are bricks in the deck, like obviously like Aslepiscu is a brick, Explode Rocket is an ideal to draw, Phalanx, Darkworm, Divine Lance, all these sort of cards, Black Garden, but they're not that bad. But you like your hands are obviously better if you just see Dragon extenders and not see the bricks.
Yeah. Did you feel like you had enough for like the combo mirrors going second with like the amount of hand traps you made and the more you were siding in?
Yeah, so with everything that we sided in, so we sided in 4, 7, 10, 13 cards going second. 11 cards going second against Rocks. So, and with the 11 cards we've already got in, it gives you a pretty good chance of seeing multiples. And even without them, sometimes you can beat the deck just with engine cards. Like you can definitely beat Eldritch with just engine cards. Yeah. But people do VFD, so you have to have at least one hand trap to try and stop them.
Yeah. And I guess for the big elephant in the room, with the new errata for the red eyes, how does it impact the deck?
So there was a big debate about applying the errata for the LCS or not.
Yes.
Because the errata got officially updated on the Friday, but the problem with applying it for the LCS at that point, everybody had already done their testing with the knowledge that Red MD wasn't errated. So anybody that chose not to play it knew that it was at full power, so it didn't like make their deck any worse because of it. Yeah. and you don't actually need it for any of the combos. The only time you need it is for like, and you don't even need it. It helps for going second. It helps for like beating multiple hand traps. It helps for beating multiple disrupts. But like Black Metal Dragon by itself is still the full FTK, even with the errata. Safer is the same. Any two dragons is the same. So it doesn't actually change that much.
Okay. Do you have any final words?
Yeah, so shout out to FTG, of course. Simon Wang, especially. The deck wouldn't exist, or it wouldn't have been as good if he didn't tell us about Exploder Rocket. Shout out to the Disciples. They did a lot of testing. Marcus Patel, especially, with that code, is just insane. Could literally revolutionize deck building going forwards. Gabriel Nets, of course, like helps me build every deck I play, and his deck theory and combo knowledge is incredible. Shouts to Stormwar Ragnarok Discord. Shouts to S7. I think that's about it.
Yeah. Thank you, Tristan. To like and subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about the deck. And I'll see you guys next time.